Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are flying out the La-5. This is the very first La-5 that you would unlock if you were going for the La-5 branch of the tech tree. But before we get into the actual gameplay, there is something I want to talk about. And it's mainly about the fact that there hasn't been any content in the past 1.5 weeks basically. And that is mainly due to the fact that I have been extremely busy, and I will be extremely busy for the couple coming of weeks. I don't know when things will calm down, but that has basically been the reason why I haven't really had any motivation to make any content. But as soon as things have calmed down, things should be changing back to normal, and I will most likely let you guys know. So, now to the gameplay. I will already say, right here on this Spitfire right in front of me, I was very greedy. I rammed into him and didn't get the kill for it because he died due to the ram, and, well, thankfully I didn't, but still, I was extremely greedy for that kill. Now, with this predicament I have thrown myself into, I have a pretty damaged wing, and I can now only use one flap on the right side of my plane, which is gonna be a hindrance. But there are two very oblivious Spitfires right in front of me. Now, my first shots are kind of off, but the later shots do connect and do good damage, rip off his wing. The other guy I get some hits in, but it doesn't seem like I did any substantial damage. Now I went up and go back down after him because I had a lot of energy from that dive. I put some ranging shots in, get some hits, but no kill shot there. I check behind me because I see traitors coming in, and that is actually a friendly helping me out, so no need for me to be worried there. Now, I get a nice little pinging sound, which means that I did at least some kind of damage, but it says he's suffering damage from the right flap, and that is not really something I am too keen about. And then I basically put myself in the absolute worst situation that I could have put myself into. The guy that was on the La-5F behind me breaks off his initial target and goes for me, which is a smart thing to do because I go up being completely oblivious to him. Now, what I decide to do here is just shoot, and fly away as fast as I can, because with this wing and that guy on my 6, I basically can't do anything. And I'm actually kind of surprised that this guy has not even managed to kill me yet, because I am severely damaged. And, well, the sparks do work in my favor. I try and get my guns on target, but just not there. Would have been a nice kill otherwise, if the shots were to do some critical damage. And right now, I am out of luck. I really need to get the hell out of here. And at this point, it is a pretty bad situation. It's only me and the other guy in the La-5 that we just saw a little bit ago right ahead of us. That guy, he is going back to base to rearm and repair his plane probably, and I am here being chased by a whole horde of very angry planes. Now, I just spasm around here a bit, and what I do try to do is use my mech. I actually don't really know what the mixture this plane should use, and I'm not too familiar with it, but I just close the radiator to keep the plane as fast as possible. And it looks like the Spitfire has actually run out of large caliber guns. He's only using his 7.7s, and that is actually a good thing for me, because that means he won't be able to do very critical damage, especially not from that range. Now, it does look like he ran out of ammo because he is turning away, and that means I get to go back to base, land, and rearm. And that is where I will leave you guys, because I will do exactly that. Go back to base, land, and rearm. So, after having land being repaired and having my ammo replenished, we are back into the fight. We are roughly at 2 kilometers altitude. Our friend is a bit further ahead of us. He did take off earlier because he was at the base a lot earlier than me. Now, before we do get into the fight, I do want to give a little shout out to the other guy in the La-5. he was an absolute joy to fly with, because with no voice communication, the teamwork between him and me in this game was very, very nice. So, if you are watching, which I doubt, but there's a chance, if you are watching, then thank you. This was a very enjoyable game to fly. Now, back to the fight. The biggest mistake that this team in the end made is that they came at us basically in little groups. Now, what I'm going to be doing right here is I know that there is a Spitfire coming up to me, so I'm just going to do a quick shot on the first one, and then just going to go immediately up to make the guy that came for me stall out. That guy in the La-5 goes for him, as I baited him up, gets the kill on him, which is very nice. Now we go back down together. However, I am going to be keeping a little bit of my altitude, because I do want to have, at least if the enemies do climb, have a little more altitude than the other guys. However, the Spitfire successfully managed to evade the La-5 and is now going back onto the La-5. However, the La-5 is so fast that he has absolutely no chance. Now that's when another Spitfire gets spotted. Now this Spitfire is relatively high, so I put the plane into a very extreme climb. However, with the speed that I had from the very little dive that I made, it is very easy to get above him. However, he is going for me, and at this altitude I can't outzoom him, I can't evade him by going up, so I go in for him. However, he goes in as well, so I just evade him because I don't want to go for the head-on. Now the guy below me is a very easy target, doesn't even see me coming, quick burst, and he is down. Now the other Spitfire does seem to be going for me at first, but he's actually fighting the other La-5. He goes up straight, I try and follow after him. I do have a lot of speed, however, I am not quite quick enough. Even with landing flaps extended, I am not able to go for him. Now I break off here because that is, in my opinion, the best way to solve this, because otherwise it's going to be a run around the rosies basically for the whole time, and it doesn't help either of us when none of us can get guns on and kill that guy. Now the F4F has taken off, and he will be a little bit of an annoyance later, because I will gravely underestimate the maneuverability of his plane. However, there are more urgent things to be taken care of right now. The Spitfire is on my friendly 6. Now I go down on him. The guy is so focused on shooting the other guy, he doesn't see me coming. However, I do not get the final blow into him. Now the F4F comes in, however, I do believe I discourage him from going for a head-on. Now this is where I notice where I probably have damaged the engine of the Mark IIB Spitfire, because he does not go up after me. So I go back down on him. He doesn't seem to be noticing me again, and he makes it a relatively easy target, and his wing gets cut clean off. Now this is where I gravely underestimate the abilities of the F4F. I thought I had enough energy over him to just zoom up away from him, and he would stall out right in front of my friendly. However, that is not the case, and now I am pretty damaged. My oil is leaking, I have a fuel leak, and I basically am kind of lucky because my pilot is orange as well. Now I just spaz around here because there is no way that I'm gonna be able to actually outspeed him, because he is actually a lot quicker than I imagined. Now I do go back up after him trying to get the kill, but he is again very, very maneuverable. So much so that I break off from this engagement. Now what I do here again is just fly away and try to make the F4F make a mistake by the pressure of the other La-5. However, I did not notice that there was another enemy Hurricane up. So I am now basically all on my own. I did activate my mech there just to open the oil radiator completely so I can keep wepping the plane for a bit longer, because maybe I will need it. However, this fight should be over at any moment. Now I do some long range shots, however the F4F turns in, so therefore he makes it a lot easier for me to shoot him. I get a quick kill on him, and I nearly hit the ground here trying to evade the Hurricane. Now I go up, continuing my evasive maneuvers against the Hurricane. I know that the Hurricane is slow and is not very great at this kind of fighting. And then I hear another engine sound, and I look around. It is actually my friendly, and he will get the kill on the Hurricane, thereby ending the game on a very pleasant note. Again, great job to this guy. This was an absolute joy. This game was absolutely amazing. Now, on that footnote, I will call it a day. We get a nice 4 kills, and that is gonna be it. Now, as always, I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.